Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
What's up, everybody? We are back live. It is good to be back on the air. 7 Mile Radio. Mark DeAndre, we appreciate your time.
What's the word, my baby?
We appreciate you, bro.
Oh, man.
Giving us an opportunity to share our thoughts and our perspectives and our opinions.
When you came with the refurbished name to the show, I said, "Oh shit, here come D Mac."
Collaboration. That's called collaboration.
with the Macho Man over here. What's
Right.
going on, Macho?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, my baby.
Somebody's volume is up on the phone. So yeah, man. The Excuse My Truth podcast. Now let me ask y'all, son, give y'all a quick, brief interview since it's the first episode of the show. What's the theory behind or the theme behind the concept of that name? What was the purpose behind you naming the show Excuse My Truth? What is it to define? Give the people a description of what this show is going to be about.
Well, this is the Eminem podcast, Mac and Macho. I will credit the name of this podcast to Macho's oldest daughter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let him give us a little
part.
background on the name of this show.
That part.
Dig that.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
talk about it then. Let's talk about it.
So the concept absolutely came from my daughter when me and Mac decided that we was really gonna go mainstream and take over the podcast ways. We collectively came with different ideas and names, and I was like stumped. You know what I mean? I definitely wanted to ride with the Mac and Macho. You know what I mean? And when I sent it to my daughter, the idea, she sent me literally like two different names, and when she hit me with Excuse My Truth, I'm like, that's kind of lit. You know what I mean? Excuse My Truth podcast, Mac and Macho, just because at the end of the day, you got two different perspectives. You know what I mean? You got Mac, who we just humbly reminded ourselves still is a queen, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, moves how she moves. And then you got my perspective, you know what I'm saying? Obviously coming from the male perspective or whatever, but when you put it together, you got Excuse My Truth, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's my truth, right? So not intending to be offensive, but excuse it for what it is.
There it is. That's what's up. So the first episode, debut episode, the title is Who Pays for the Date?
We don't even want to call it a date. Let's keep it a buck. We're going to call it a vibe session.
Right.
Vibe
Yeah,
session.
we're going to call it
upon the invite.
But let me set the tone and really give the narrative behind it. So I made a post on my Facebook page, Macho_LBL is the Facebook page. But I made a post, in case specific, I said, hey, I miss you or necessarily want to see you, you know what I mean? Like, pull up on me, come have a drink. And it was in the context of a female liking the dude, shooting her shot, telling somebody to introduce her to the dude, and the connection happens. And then upon the first conversation piece, she basically aggressive, pull up on me. I want to see you. Come have a drink with me. And he like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Today ain't a good day, you know what I mean? But like, what about tomorrow? She's like, all right, tomorrow perfect, you know what I mean? So tomorrow comes and she taps back in and she like, what you got up? And he like, I'm in traffic. And she say, well, come see me. Come have a drink with me. And when he pulls up to come have a drink, who pays for the bill?
From my perspective, in that scenario, case in point, I would say that he was the one invited to the situation. So I would say that she should probably, you invited me to the party. Now you want me to pay for the party? That's not an invitation. That's a solicitation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like it's the same.
Solicitation.
Yeah, because it's like that's no different than like in the business world, right? Somebody invite you. Say you're a social media. I'm just thinking about myself. I have to use myself in this context. Say you a social media influencer, right? They invite you to the party, right? They want you to come to the party to get more people, but then they want you to pay at the door. Was this an invitation or a solicitation? You know what I mean? So it's no different. It's the same thing. You invited me to pay. Like if I wanted to come, I would pay. I would have been there and paid myself. Like you can't invite me to spend my money.
Yeah, real shit. And that was really the context. And then I'm gonna swing it over Mac way. But that was the context. So when I made the post, surprisingly, majority of the women were given we're basically taking the perspective of if I invite you, it's my drink. So my thing is when he pulls up for the drinks, she's there. She already has a drink in front of her. He sits down, orders a drink. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the vibe session, when the check comes, you know, he you know, looking at the check and you know, she looking at it. Then at some point she's like, oh well, she said it's until, so he, you know, goes in his pocket and pays for it. Now, I said that if you invite me to a drink session and you're already there,
You didn't already start. So now you want me to pay for drinks that I wasn't even there to.
I wasn't even here
partake
to-
in.
right.
Like, I wasn't even part of this party.
The first 3 rounds.
So the thing about it is, like, how do I know how much of this party has taken place before I got there, right? Because you could have been good and drunk. You could have ordered rounds for the whole fucking house.
Right.
And then they all gone. Your girl's gone. You called
And
me
I
and
got
shit.
your tab
and
at
now
the end
I
of
got
the
the
day.
tab and shit. And then I'm a whole ass nigga if I don't pick it up.
that part,
Right.
that part,
Right.
that
Right.
part. That's exactly. So in the context of the post,
Right.
the post did about 350 comments. I mean, 370. It's still, they still talking about it, right?
Right.
Majority of the women, majority rules, they were basically siding with
Like
with
they
my
would
perspective.
pay?
They would pay. If I invite you, I'm prepared to pay. But
Right,
as a gentleman,
exactly. I was
I'm
about to
hoping
say.
I'm hoping you, as a man, as a grown man, and that was my position. Now,
Right.
it's an option for me though,
Right.
because if the vibe is right and the energy right, I want to see you again anyway. And that's
Yeah, I
like,
wouldn't
boy,
mind.
I'ma go
Yeah,
ahead
there
and
you
boss
go.
up.
let me just see
I
you
would
reach
just-
for that motherfucker so I can stop you and have that opportunity to look like a.
Yeah, and then let you know that I had a good time with you.
There you go.
Right.
But if I
Okay.
didn't have a good time, bitch, you invited me. That's your time.
But let me make that choice.
Let me, yeah.
So that was my position.
Don't obligate me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean?
Into that position.
Yeah.
After you invited me out here, now you're gonna solicit me to pay the bill.
I like that. This wasn't an invitation.
It was a solicitation.
I like
Man.
that.
But see, then what about the woman, the old-fashioned woman that feels like the man is supposed to pay for everything? What about that woman who feels like, okay, we are in 2022, and we're holding
Then you're
on
not the
to
woman that's gonna be out by
1950
yourself in the
values.
first place. You damn sure ain't gonna be inviting nobody nowhere because you're the old school ass woman that's waiting on the man to come and pick you up and tell you and
Say that
plan
shit.
you today.
Yeah. But they still have that expectation though.
Yeah, Oh, if
it's
you
a
went
lot
to the
of
post-
women. It's a lot of women out here that still really believe like, I don't care if I invite you, you invite me, then
You
you
pay
supposed to
because
pay
you're the
you
man.
the man because you're the man.
But then on the
then
flip
I-
side, I want to be equal about everything. You know
But
what I mean?
yeah, we equal. Ain't no big you, little eyes. Ain't no head of the house. We 50-50, whatever. But
That's not
at
the
the
case.
same time, come on now,
It's not the case.
choose your poison.
No, don't try to use that as leverage when it's convenient for you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what
But
the
it-
consensus was on the post. Like, you know, again, there were several women that said, I'm never paying. You know, there were married women, of course, they're like, I don't pay for anything. We're not talking to you. Get off my post.
Right.
We're not talking to wives. Get the
But
fuck
then
off my post.
there were
You
those.
signed a contract to where this nigga gonna pay for everything.
He's supposed to pay. We're not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm talking in the
We
the
said
sense
dating.
of she. But no.
A vibe session.
We got to be
Like,
very intentional with the words.
I like that though. I like that though. That vibe,
vibe
session because
session,
that
right?
date traditionally that already puts you in the
I
mind
would
frame
be
of something
picking
that the
you
man's
up.
supposed to pay for.
I would be picking you up for a date.
And most women are
This
dating
is
with
a
a
meetup.
purpose or dating with intention. You know what I mean? Like, it's a vibe session, then everything is organic. It's the chemistry, it's the energy. And if it's that, then I at least need to see you reach for that motherfucker. So the song say, I love it when she got her own. She
Yeah.
don't need mine. She say, leave mine alone. Ain't shit more sexy than the girl that won't but don't need me. What she say? It's cool. I got it. We love that. I don't need it every time, but I just want to see you at least reach for that motherfucker. And I
Say
would have
that.
been, because I came prepared to pay.
Say that.
Right? Based on the vibe. If the vibe
Right.
session is what it is, then
I mean, what about those women on the post that were saying a real man gonna pay anyway?
Oh, here we go. Right,
And-
that
and
real
that's where-
man.
but
there.
that's where I took
how
you
was
to.
it? But you're
Yeah.
a woman, and how you gonna tell anything? Tell a man or tell a man what a real man is?
Right, right.
You a woman.
But
and
what-
now you're trying to, but you're trying to use that as leverage to make me feel bad because I don't give you what you want. A real man would do that. So now, if I don't, I feel bad. I feel less than a man. And you're like,
Right.
fuck that.
Right. But this is my thought though. Like, why can't a man expect to be treated every now and then anyway though? Why is the expectation that the man is supposed to always pay? I mean, he may stand in those shoes and be the gentleman and do all the chivalrous things that men
Absolutely.
do.
Absolutely.
You know, when they're trying to woo a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But why does it always have to be that, okay, let
Because
me give
that's
her
the-
everything she
because
wants,
that's-
but she can't give the man or the person in those shoes a portion of what he wants.
Because there are opportunists out here that play off of that narrative, right? And because that's what the man is supposed to do, then that's what he needs to do, or he ain't gonna get nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? So
But then what are you supposed to do as the woman, though? That's the
Lil
question.
Baby said in this
Provide the
rap
vagina.
song, I'm tired
That's
of showing
a
you what
wash.
the fuck I can do. What you gonna do for me?
Come on with the lyrics.
Like, I'm tired of showing you what I can do. What you gonna do for me? Because you already know how I'm coming.
You know how I'm coming. I'm
know
coming
what I
out.
can
I'm
do.
coming
You
out
know.
the gate like that.
You
You know
know
what I'm
it.
saying? So I'm showing you that.
Absolutely.
Now, at what point do you show the
what do you-
reciprocal?
basically, what are you bringing to the table? I hate
And
to
no.
use that.
So let me
I hate to
correct you,
use that.
because I was going there. See, great minds think alike, my boy. Because I was going there, but in the sense of, you said old school, right? And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with old school. Like, I'm cool with that. The new school gotta respect. It gotta be a mesh of it. But the days of
but
you
it's different
bringing
times, though.
100%. But
Yeah.
the days of you bringing your plate to my table are over. You bring your table
Table.
to my table, and let's make a longer table. Then we place plates around that.
Say that
motherfucker.
shit. Say that shit.
You feel me? So I don't need you to bring nothing to the table. I need you to bring your table to the table.
Have a
and then
table.
There you go. Have a table.
Have a fucking table.
Fuck a seat. Have a
Then
table.
we can have a whole feast.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, and back to your point, because if you look at the post, it was so unique, and I love to the point where when they started atting each other, I'm like, no, lady, sis, this is not an argument.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not.
Right.
This is excuse my truth. It's my truth. Right? My truth is just
And
that.
that's
It's my
that's the
truth.
problem with a lot of conversations. We take the terms and conditions of what we want and what we feel is right for us and try to apply them to other people, and then say that they wrong when they don't like this. This is for them. This is like you said. This
Yeah,
is
for
my
their
truth.
opinion. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We got a comment on here. She says, Tanya Winan says, he can be treated. He is just as valuable as a woman. And I think that's what a lot, and I'm not
A lot
going
of
to
women
say
fail to
all,
realize.
a lot of women fail to realize that you are not the only fucking prize. You're a prize, guaranteed. You're a prize. But so is he. And he should be treated accordingly, just as you want to be treated as such.
And in fact, like I wouldn't. I don't want to really say it like this, but would a man be more of a prize to a woman than a woman? And I don't want to make it like that, but at the same time, a man proposes to a woman, right? And
Not just in 2022.
Right,
Women
'cause you see
taking
that.
over. They on the
But see,
knee
this-
Traditional, though.
but let me tell you
Majority
something about
still
though.
rules.
That's some bullshit.
Majority
right?
still
And I'm about
rules.
to tell you right now, because now again it goes back to that invitation versus solicitation thing, right? Because now that's not a proposal, right? That's an ultimatum. When a woman proposes, that's not a proposal. That's
If
an
you say
ultimatum.
no,
Because if
nigga,
you
you
say
know
no,
I'm
it's
gone.
over, right?
Right.
So that's not a proposal.
Toasted.
That's an ultimatum. So that's why I don't believe that shit. And then how can a woman propose to a man, right?
Right.
A man is proposing to you that I'm taking.
Bible said that
you,
he that findeth
listen,
a
I'm
wife.
taking you as my wife, saying that I want to take care of you. You can't. A woman can't propose to me that I want you to take care of me for the rest. You can't propose
That
to
part.
me. How the fuck does that work? You can't propose marriage to me.
That part.
It does not work that way. A woman, you can't get on your knees and propose marriage to a man and say, "I want you to take." No, a man has to. I want you as my wife. I want to take you. I'll take you. You know, you in your hand in marriage, and I want to take care of you, and you're my responsibility.
Right.
A
100%.
woman can't propose to a man. I want to be your responsibility for the rest of my life. No.
Assume that role or that headship, right?
Damn.
And then he's supposed to say yes or no. And then if he say
Okay.
no, it's an ultimatum to what the fuck is a woman gonna go?
Damn.
The relationship don't last after that. If a woman is rejected after a supposed proposal, it ain't a proposal. That's a fucking ultimatum.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. And then you can't propose to me to take care of you for the rest of my life. That's my choice that I gotta make and ask you if you willing to accept it. Don't work the other way. That's not a proposal. That's no.
Yeah, I so when I think about just even the whole vibe between, and that's why I'm so intentional with words when I say vibe session, because when he pulled up to that setting in that moment, again, the session was already established, right? So to your point, if I say, and I got beat up
Right.
by some of my queens on social media. I don't like to use the word bitch. I call them mucks. You know what I mean? Because they either miserable, unstable creatures or messy, unstable creatures. But that's what I put in place of the B word.
He
So
said
I
mucks.
no longer calling queens the B word. You know what I mean?
I'ma use
So
that.
with the muck situation, like when I said, fellas, if you hitting her with that good, you know what I'm saying? And you getting her together, when it's all said and done, like she should be able to make sure you good too. You need your phone bill paid. Like you should be able. She can ask you for some. You can ask her to. Like, come on. Right? It's equality now. So therefore, when I said, fellas, we are the prize, that did not take away that women are still queens.
Right.
So what's wrong with me affirming the king? What's
I
wrong
think
with me
everybody
affirming?
is the prize. I think everybody
They're,
is the
they're,
prize.
there's
But
a prize
again-
to each other, but the thing about it is women just feel like they're
They're
the
the
prize.
prize.
Absolutely.
And there's
And
no
I'm
prize
saying
in having
they.
a woman. I mean, there's no prize in having a man when the man is the one that is the prize. For a woman, a man is like having a man is like hitting the lottery. Well, how is that not the prize? You basically getting taken care of for the rest of your life.
100%.
So how is that not you receiving the prize?
And how does that diminish your worth and your value because I esteemed the black,
Myself.
the black king? So when somebody said to me today that I'm insensitive to their feelings, I'm not. I'm just more locked in and focused on mine right now, which is nothing wrong with that. Right?
And
That's nothing
that's
wrong
the
with
thing,
that.
and that's a deeper statement to be made.
There's nothing wrong with
You're
that.
locked in on your feelings,
That's
but
it.
guess what? The perception is you all don't have any.
And-
You're not supposed to acknowledge
Or-
them.
or
you're not
anytime-
supposed to be as in touch with them as a female. You can't take
deal with
care
that all
of
the time
you
as a Cancer
or
man.
expect it to be
Or
taken care
anytime
of.
that you focus on yourself, you're selfish.
That's what she told me today. She
Right.
told me that's
Right?
absolutely
Anytime, like
my
you know,
DM.
that, and I said this too before about relationships, right? When a woman has a problem in a relationship, it's the man's responsibility to fix it, right?
Yeah.
But when a man has a problem in a relationship, it don't mean shit. It don't mean nothing.
It's swept under the
It's
rug.
nobody. It doesn't get solved. It doesn't matter that it gets solved. And in fact, if you bring up the possibility of a or the idea of a resolution, like who are you to put a mirror up in my face and try to hold me accountable for anything?
But do you, as men, feel like you participate in that process because you really don't assert beyond? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well.
if you don't say anything or if you allow the shit to happen, then what is she supposed to think?
yeah, if you
She's supposed to
allow
think that
things to
she-
snowball, well, yeah, if
you
you
know what
allow
I'm
things
saying?
to snowball
But
to
if
a
you
point
checking
where
that shit at the gate and correcting it upon its entry,
and then now on that side of the coin, now you're complaining a lot, almost like how we say about women.
Yeah.
You're nitpicking. And
Yeah.
shit. But it's like so now
But
when
you
you get to
sticking
that
around
point,
for that shit.
at that point you just get to the point where this is just not your person. You
Yeah.
have to realize
Yeah.
that this is not if it take that much to stay together, it shouldn't be that hard. I shouldn't have to go through all of that. So we got to agree that we disagree. You know,
Excuse my truth.
yeah, it's everybody has their individual truth. So if a woman invites a man or a woman invites a person standing in the man's shoes.
If she tell D-Mac to pull up, who
Listen,
paying?
so look, this it really happened. So I had this chick. She's talking about, look, hey, you should meet me up here. Meet me with the key words, right? For me,
Okay.
meet me up here for breakfast, right? So you driving your car, I'm driving mine. We leaving in our separate vehicles. Everything is motherfucking separate, right? So bet. I get there. We vibing, like you said, vibe session. We chilling. I ain't had no expectations. She didn't
Right.
either. We eating. You know what I'm saying? And talking in betwixt, right? So the bill came though. So, but I was feeling good about the little whole session. It's like I want to see her again, right? You know, like let me, you know, do me, right? So the bill comes. She reached for it, and I was like, no, I got it. And for me, it was kind of like a, not because I had to do it, or I was expected to do it, or I was supposed to do it. The fact that she even gestured
Yep. That's
and
it.
acted like I can
it.
do it,
100%.
it made me want to do it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it be them motherfuckers that sit there until the lights go out in the
And make you
restaurant.
feel
They
obligated.
vacuuming, the whole bill still sitting there. You ain't even bothered to open the bitch and look at it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's
Right.
like,
you
you know,
selfish muck.
muck.
what's the actor? What's that mean again?
Either it's two concepts.
It's-
You're
it's a
either a
double entendre.
miserable, unstable creature or a messy, unstable creature. Either
Well,
way,
some of 'em is-
because that's what bees are. That's what when people use the word bee, they use it for people who are usually miserable, like
Messy.
elite, or messy.
Some of them are mamucks.
That there you go.
He said
Muck
Back music. yeah.
back music.
The M squared.
M
Yeah,
square.
M squared.
Yo, we got a call-in number. We would love to hear your thoughts and your perspectives. I know it's a feminine perspective out here that is just dying to share. So the phone number, call in 313-723-0481. 313-723-0481. Who pays for the date?
The vibe session.
Who pays for the vibe session?
But in the context, let's set the premises though.
Right.
It's different because, and this is where the women on the post were losing me at, and this is where it goes to show to me the mindset or the mentality of today's black woman, because it's so one-sided. Where if she invites me to come have a drink, she expects me to pay. How be it different that I invite her for the drink and you still expect me to pay? So at what point?
Because you're the man, and it's your,
Because
it's
you're
just
supposed
your
to
job
be
to do
standing
it.
in
It's
the
just
role of the man.
You're the provider.
However,
You're supposed to provide in whatever situation, and that's your job. And if you don't do it, you're less than the man.
But look at the
no matter if
divine-
I invited you to provide for me or not.
Right.
See how that worked?
That part.
Right. And that right is like, imagine being invited out and being expected to pay for it is like being proposed to. You can't fucking propose to me. You can't invite me out and expect me to pay
sometimes
for your life.
they
That's what
invite
you're
you
doing.
out.
You're inviting me to pay for your life.
just so you can pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
They really
Now-
don't give
now,
no fucks about
Contrast that to a proposal.
You
You're doing
understand
that
what I'm
just so I.
saying?
No, I don't know if you hear from my hand or my heart. God damn it.
you. That's what I'm saying. It's like you asked me out here. You should come on down to the bar. We having a good time. I come down to the bar at the end of the night. It's like $398. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, that part.
Did you invite me down here to cover this tab because you might have went a little bit over your
Invitation
budget?
versus solicitation.
You
That
know what
shit
I'm
was
saying?
profound. That was profound.
That shit happens and that shit's
It does.
real.
That
What you
deserve one
doing,
of
boo? You ain't heard from this motherfucker in forever.
Yeah.
What you doing, boo? Boo.
Motherfuckers made whole careers out of that.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
part. That part. So I didn't get it though. Like, and that was my thing. So at that point, again, reach for the check. Let me show you that I'm a gentleman. Chivalry ain't dead. You mucks just started calling it thirst. Right? Like chivalry's not dead. Like, I know how to be a gentleman. Mama raised me right.
There it is.
Listen.
There it is. There it is.
Give
Some
me
of
an
y'all-
opportunity
some
to
of
be
y'all
a
just-
gentleman.
yeah.
Do not listen. I'm about moments. You understand what
Yeah,
I'm talking about?
right.
Don't take my moment. This is a moment for me to show you.
Right.
Okay?
And you took it.
Okay? That Mr.
Because you
Wyman.
expected it.
Yep.
Because of the expectation.
That's that. And then
Entitlement.
And
same-
that's what it
the
is.
entitlement. Yep.
That's what it is.
It's no different than, the women is walking around and say, nothing that you can do for me, I can't do for myself. It's like, so now you just depreciated my whole want.
value.
I don't even want to do nothing now because you made me feel like nothing that I do for you would be appreciated because you can do it for yourself. And that's all the fuck we want is
Go
a thank you.
ahead.
That's all
That's
we
it.
want is to
That's
be
it.
appreciated for the shit that what we doing. You know what I'm
Bro.
saying? And if you just telling me off the rip coming out the gate, what are you bringing to my table? I hate that conversation again because now it puts in context of what am I getting out of you
I
versus
want to
what
know
can we do
what's
together.
at your table all motherfucking ready.
Yeah.
That part.
Why
Do
the
you have a
fuck I
table?
gotta fill up your table?
As my daughter would say, period.
What's
D and
on
the
your
T,
table all motherfucking ready?
Man.
Facts.
What is appealing to me other than your...
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you got a table, remember, we just talked about this. What's on your table already, and therefore you don't got to leave your table and bring your plate
Match
to my
with
table.
my table.
It's about
Slide that motherfucker down.
It's about what we can do together,
That's
and not
it.
what you can get from me or what I can get from you.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
It's not even about how long or how big your table is. Your table ain't gonna never be
Just
the same
manage
size
your
as mine.
table.
That's it. You just gotta have a table. They gonna be this long. I'm bringing this big 12-foot long motherfucking table. You bring your little bitty picnic basket table.
You
I'm
know
cool
what
with
happens
that.
when one side doesn't have a table? I had a friend of mine
Nigga, I can tell you.
who inboxed me, and she was in trouble because she was from out of state. She moved here from somewhere on the East Coast. All of her family was from the East Coast. She didn't have a job, didn't have a driver's license, right? No credit cards, nothing. She was completely solely dependent on her husband, who take care of the bills and all. They got 2 kids. So some slip break came untied in the relationship. They got into a fight one weekend on a Friday. Boom, he put his hands on her. She called the police. You know what the police did for the weekend, right? So now again, mind you, for the weekend, no car, no credit card, no, because you don't have a table. You didn't have any table or any kind of stable platform of your own to stand on.
Yeah.
Now you know that's why I've always stayed away from the narrative of the stay-at-home wife and, the woman that wants it. And it's not because I want my woman to work, because I want a woman who can take care of me. It's because if something happens to my leg, if I get broke up
Man,
and shit, I
say
got to
that.
have somebody.
Say that.
I want a partner, not a dependent.
Say that. Say that.
You know
And
what I'm
I
saying?
think about that all the time because I'm like, damn, so, okay, the rescue missions, the Build-A-Bears, all those things, it's kind of like, okay, so if I can walk out my house, the way we live, the way Detroit is set up, anything can happen any given day to any given person. Are we about to just go under because I can't do something? Something happened to me? Are you in a position with your table to stand up and keep things afloat while I'm down? Not down because I want to be, but down by circumstance.
Do you care that much about me as the supposed, what do they say, the woman nurturer? As you expect me to be for you as the provider? Do I get that or no? Or is it just one-sided thing where it's all about what you get, and then if I was not able to provide that, then you out?
Right.
And this is not a part there's no reciprocation.
Right.
And I can speak to that personally because I lived that. Literally, I had kids early, got married early, and as of right now, I'm a whole granddaddy out here in these streets. You know what I mean? But I lived that, and I don't like to regret, but I reflect, and in reflecting, I absolutely would do it different. There's no way I would have went into the situation and allowed or basically set it up where, at the time my kid's mom was a stay-at-home mom or wife. Now, twofold. Look at it like this. Just based on me having 2 kids in 1 year,
Right.
childcare was, bro, it was unreal. It was a car note. You know what I mean? What you were paying for childcare. So in our situation, it made, I guess, ideal sense for her to be at home until the kids were ready to be in school full time. Right? So you figure that's a 5-6 year window.
But guess what, Dan? You know why that worked? Because there was a partnership.
You're right.
Y'all work
That's the-
together.
see-
Y'all
see-
work
see.
together.
Right.
We so worried about relationship. And we forgot about the most important part of a relationship, which is partnership.
But then don't forget friendship, right? You gotta
Yeah.
be friends first. It shouldn't be just a business agreement.
Yeah,
when
that
it comes
too.
to love, like a relationship,
It's
you gotta
dynamics,
like each
it's
other,
levels
Right?
to
It's
it.
levels. So it's
I deal
definitely
with that
levels.
shit on
to
the
it.
corporate level, man. I tell my brokers all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we got a relationship until you closing loans with me. Once we close the loans, now it's a partnership. But until you sending me business, I don't give a fuck about your kids. I don't care what happened over the. Let's have a relationship. But the moment we start doing business, we getting money together. Now it's a partnership. And until then, we have nothing. And then going back to the dynamics of the family structure, it made it ideal in that context. But it also created a monster in the sense of she stayed an at-home mom for so long that when she finally, got out and got around adults, she felt like she was like held, back for so long. You know what I mean? So in hindsight, to your point, I think it's very important that the woman has her identity. The woman, contributes. You know what I mean? And whatever that contribution is, right? Only you guys can identify what that contribution should be. But the equality in it is, it's not 50-50. Because if you're giving 50% of anything, you can keep that shit. It has to be 100-100 mindset.
It has to be 100 energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
And when it's that, then we can build off of that. But reflecting back to the topic at hand, if you invite me, you invite Macho to come have a drink with you, I'm expecting you to at least reach for that motherfucking check when it comes.
Act like you want to treat me like you
Show me you're
invited
a boss.
me. You
Show
know
me
what I
you're
mean?
a boss too.
We want bosses too.
Show me
right?
you're a boss, baby.
Don't you?
I always say, like, for women, sometimes flip it around, and on the other side of the coin, just flip the people around, and you see how stupid it seems. How dumb it really is.
It's just all
Imagine
about
if
me.
Imagine if a man invited a woman out to a date and then expected her to pay for the shit.
And she would look at you like you dumb as fuck, and like you weak as fuck, and you broke as fuck, right?
All the parts.
And
as
and
fuck.
she would
On
blast
everything,
the fuck
as
out
fuck.
of you on social
And
media.
you know when you add as fuck to it, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
what I'm
That's the exclamation point.
You
right
know what
there.
I mean?
As fuck.
But it's ludicrous for you to invite y'all or me out on a date and not expect you to stand up and treat me the way that I treat
There's
you.
a lot of double standards that with situations like that in regards to dating. Just like what was that old viral situation that was going on social media about the fucking McDonald's dinner and bringing the McDonald's kid. The
Oh,
kids
my
up-
man.
the
He
that brought
got
the
4
one
kids. He got 4 kids with. Well, no,
No,
got 4
she got
kids.
4 kids and he got
one
with
with
her.
him, and he brought his son something to eat, not her other kids, and she wouldn't let the one kid get the food because he didn't bring nothing for the
that
other
turned
kids.
out to be a hoax.
It was.
Yeah, it did.
It was
Yeah,
a
but-
post,
but the
it's still that-
mentality-
But the
mentality
concept
is
is
for
real.
real.
Yeah. That's a chick's mindset for real. So
Yeah.
they were able to play off of that and get their buzz popping,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was brilliant.
It was genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Genius, right? Because we talked about it for weeks and months,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
got
right.
a couple 100,000 followers. So now
Right,
they
all
gonna secure
that.
another bag on social
Right,
media,
right.
and TikTok,
All of that, all
So
that.
it's genius. But women's mindset is
That
that.
is that. Yeah.
I got 3 kids. You're my one child's father. You should be, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially because you know the other 2 baby daddies in.
So flip it again. That's why I say I use that same narrative. Flip it around, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he had 4 kids, and he called her to bring the child something to eat off the rip, just off that. The baby with you. Why you calling me?
Mm-hmm.
Let alone expecting her to bring the food
other
for
3
the
kids.
other. Woo!
Not in this community.
But see, this quest for equality is really just on a certain level. You know, it's caps to that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want equality in pay. I want equality in authority. I want equality in position, right? But when it comes to relationship, I don't want equality. I don't want to give you equal energy that you're giving me. You can't have it both motherfucking ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how I feel.
Yep.
I think when you go back to like some of the comments on the post, and I'm gonna bring my other phone because I wish I could be reading some of those comments because I'd be at their asses right now because they were very opinionated. You know what I'm saying? Alicia was really like, and to the point where again back to the point, I'm a grown ass man. I'm a
Right.
granddaddy out in these streets. You understand
Right.
what I'm talking about? So treating a woman like a woman and making a woman feel impeccable, like that comes with the vibe session, right?
Right.
That comes with when it's a vibe.
That's
it's
what
a
you want to do
vibe.
as a master.
I
man,
gotta
that's what-
feel you like that to treat you like that.
Most
But I'm motivated when it's a vibe.
If
like when it's
I'm out
organic.
with you, I'm already. It's
Oh,
already.
come on.
yeah.
Like, I'm not, because again, time, you'll never get that back. So if I pulled up, first of all, let's be very fucking clear. I drove to you,
Right.
right? Gas, time, energy, effort, attitude, positivity, all that shit matters. Okay? So I pulled up on you, because you, again, in the first time, you know what? Because I keep talking around it. So it's me. I'm him. Okay? This motherfucker shot her shot. I
Right.
said, no, I'm good. I want no smoke. Dog come to me again. He like, bro, a girl on my wife's head, like, you know what I'm saying? Tell Macho, like, I need that. You know what I mean? All the smoke. As fuck. Okay?
Right. As fuck.
So I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, she just gave me, I swear to God, STG. She gave me weirdo vibes, like, because she was so aggressive. And sometimes I'm cool with aggression, but sometimes
You
it's a
cross the
little...
line. You cross the line.
Yeah, like so, but it's all good. Or maybe that's just how she was.
How she
macho.
wired and shit.
Okay,
Right,
it's cool.
right.
So I finally give in, and when you give in, like you hit me aggressive. I'm like, I vaguely remember what you look like. She hit me with like 13 picks. Bing, bing, bing. I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's the lips for me. So I'm like, all right, cool. She tap in me like, what's wrong? I'm like, shit, I'm gonna be on the east side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be at mom's crib. She like, well, listen, I'm gonna be here. Let's pull up on me, have a drink.
Right.
Like, I don't really feel like it, but you know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, come on, I really want to see you. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, man. You giving me that energy, you know what I mean? Skirt, skirt.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Pull up, you know what I mean? We have a drink, walked in and seen something. I'm like, damn, I don't know if it's somewhere. She's like, Macho. I'm like, all right, but again, it's a vibe session. How you doing?
Right.
Right.
So when the check come, again, mindset, I'm good. I'm not going nowhere.
You prepared.
I'm not a window shopper, so I'm
Right.
not going to Somerset if I can't at least walk in and buy me something.
Right. You
Not even an option.
prepared. You prepared.
That part. So when the check come, again, we still talking, and again, it's a vibe session. The vibe was cool. It was a cool vibe session, you know what I'm saying? But, so the check come, and I'm like, okay, I'm sitting there, you know what I mean? I'm still, you know what I mean? I ain't even eat my food, you know what I mean? All of it, but check coming. I'm like, okay, but then to your point, like they starting to flick lights and shit, and motherfuckers, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, ringing up that little. So when they go to do her last little ring out, that's when she must have repeated again. But at that time, I'm kind of in my phone because I already kind of like peeked. In a moment, you in your phone, and it ain't the kids. It's over. It's a wrap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of on my phone, and you know what I mean? So a girl like, she said it was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I think it was like $72 or whatever. No big deal or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, when she said it, I'm like, at that point, I just, you know what I mean, pay for it. But it's not, now my mind said, bitch, muck.
Right.
That's it. I'm good. I don't want no
Synonym.
more smoke. Yeah. I don't want no muck. I don't want no smoke with you. Like, I'm turned off at that point, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you had me pull up on you expecting, and I said this, like, what if you already had drinks and food before I got there?
That's what I said
Like,
earlier.
what if your friends came and had a drink with you? That's the same way if I'm at the bar and I pull up at a table full of beautiful women. Like, again, baby girl, like, what's your name? Like, I don't gotta buy you and all four of y'all what you drinking. Cause this ain't no orgy, or is it? Oh, my bad. But what are you drinking?
Yeah,
my
because if
baby?
you insinuate that shit, then you're wrong.
Then I'm wrong.
Right.
So I'm just supposed to give you some ass as your drink. Why you think I'm just supposed to give you a drink because I'm here, bitch?
Right.
What the fuck?
Now let me tell you what I told Doggy Bone. I bartended at the Glass House Bar and Grill, shameless plug on Friday nights. Fuck them kids Fridays. So I told Dog, he was like, Macho, what's up with baby girl? I'm like, oh bro, I'm like, she legit though. I'm like, it's her mama's birthday party though. So if you really want to look like a G, if you want to look like a boss, you go ask her what she drinking, ask her mom what she drinking, because that's the birthday girl. Now
Right.
it's nine of them over there.
Right.
You ain't got about 9 of them.
It's
over
a
there.
time. It's a time,
Right.
place for everything. But the difference in that narrative is you made the choice on buying these.
Yeah.
extra
It wasn't
girls
an
a drink.
obligation based on her
Yeah.
telling me I got to buy her girl a drink because I'm shooting my
'Cause-
shot. No.
Yeah, nah.
I'm like, now if you want to look like a boss, okay, you know what I'm saying? Look light skin, you want to look like a boss, that's what you do.
No, because to be
step
very honest, when you do that bullshit, women, and I'm coming from a woman perspective, women don't look at you like you a boss. They look at you like you a fucking fool.
Ooh, so now I'm the flunky.
They look at you like you the nigga
Gullible.
that's gonna come and cash out, whether because
Ooh.
you want her that bad and you trying to impress her that bad. I'm gonna be the other voice. I'm dressed like this, but I'm
See,
still
now
a
you
woman.
said chivalry ain't dead. What you say?
They just started calling it thirst.
So that's what it is. That the chivalry is mistaken with thirst. So
Yeah.
on that end, he may not be thirsty. He could be a genuine.
He could be a gentleman,
token, a genuine.
but there's a perspective or there's a perception.
Perception.
It's like, oh, he a weak ass nigga. I can get this nigga to do
anything, right? If he buy a drink for me
You
and my
understand what I'm
mama,
saying? So
whatever.
sometimes niggas, you gotta say motherfucking no. That's the bottom motherfucking line.
And they
Say
came from a
no,
woman's perspective.
so you don't look like you that pushover ass type nigga that just a
doesn't do
yes
anything,
nigga. You
yeah.
know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Or a yes muck.
Yes.
Yes, muck.
Yes, I like
I
that.
was about to use the
I
other
like that.
synonym.
I like it, but no, that's coming from a woman's perspective though. Like I think again, back to what Lil Baby said, I'm tired of showing you what I can do. What are you going to do for me?
Exactly.
And there was nothing wrong with that statement because when you look at it, Baby just was in the thing because they said he took the chick Sweetie on the shopping spree on their first vibe session and spent 100 bands. He spent 100 bands.
What is dating? What is relationship? What
That's
is
why
all
I'm
that?
calling it a vibe
It's
session.
mutual. It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, I'm here just to make sure your life is great. I'm here to make sure you're okay, or I'm here to make sure you have everything you need and you want out of a partner. But then there are still the flip side of that coin where that other partner still has needs, expectations, and desires of you. And at what point do you have an expectation of your motherfucking self for your partner?
Agreed. That's real. That's real.
If you don't, then you are a selfish muck.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Agreed. And selfish
How can
mucks.
you think that that person doesn't have expectations when you got a whole motherfucking list?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a human being, she's a human being too.
Like these are people that like the world revolves around them in their minds. It's all about what they like. Fuck, you're here just to serve me. I'm
That's
the royal.
bullshit. We don't need
boy.
that. Listen.
Oh boy.
It's 2023. D-Max said
Almost.
earlier. Well, almost.
Yep.
D-Max said earlier, talked about, old school and traditionalism, and I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong, because again,
But if
most
you
songs
want
I'm
me to
on.
be the old school in these shoes, I'm gonna need you to be the old school in those shoes.
Right. Absolutely.
Don't try to be 2021 century or motherfucker whatever and want me back there in the olden days. I'm gonna need you to be back there in the olden days. Shut the fuck up. I mean, if that's
Don't
you
try
know
to
what I'm saying?
don't try to have the benefits of being the 23rd, 21st century wife,
Woman.
right? But then you want
But
the
you want a
you want the 18 you want the
18th
200
century
BC husband and shit.
You know what
That's
I'm
gonna
saying?
be at
You
home.
want the old fashioned man, but
yeah.
you the new woman. Let's balance this shit out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on now. If we want old fashioned, give old fashioned. Which means you should be cooking,
But then
cleaning.
you can't put them kind of stipulations on the woman.
No, you can't because now you're limiting them, or now you're limiting us. I don't mean to separate myself from women, but I don't operate from that particular perspective. In most cases,
It's that what
because
you,
I am a
it's
mom.
that, listen.
I am a
She-
mom,
except
so
when
I
she
still
pull-
gotta have a little.
Except when she pulled up on the east side at nighttime.
Nigga, look. Let me tell y'all what the fuck happened tonight. I'll tell on myself now. He trying to put me on blast. I'm gonna tell on myself. So I pull up So I'm gonna give a shout out to my homegirl DL Collins. We used to be on the podcast on Monday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. Y'all come listen to her and her wife. They are hilarious. But nevertheless, it was daylight.
She said daylight. That's from 6 to 7.
It was motherfucking daylight when I came on the east side and shit, right? So I live in Oak Park, so I'm not, I ain't. So I pulled up and I'm like, shit, it's dark, ain't no street light. It's we got company side door, so it's dark than a motherfucker. So I called Mark. I'm like, hey, bro. He's like, hey, what's up? I said, I'm here, but I don't want to get out because it's a little dark.
Like, ain't no lights on.
And it's a little dark on the side of the house. I'm still a woman. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about
I said D Mac
I see
gangster and
niggas
shit.
pulling up and shit in their cars, getting out, going to the house next door. I'm like,
I said
I'm
D Mac gangster and shit, but she's still a woman. Let me go ahead and cut the
Listen.
side light on. Let me come
Listen.
outside and let her in the house. And shit.
at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know what I
Facts.
understand.
Facts.
But,
And my boy
and
on the
I'm
east
not.
side.
I can't carry my weapon right now, so it's like I'm unsafe.
You know what? Well, call me. I got you covered.
Yeah, he turned the side light on, came out to the front. I felt like he was a whole gentleman.
Hey,
Women,
call in.
stop acting like y'all don't need men.
Call
I
in.
need
Ooh,
them
ain't that
niggas. I need
313
them. Shit.
723-0481. We need you to call in.
Please, somebody call in and talk shit.
We need your opinion.
Please
Tanya,
give
you
a-
call in. Give us your perspective. Shout out to Tanya Winans. We
Tanya
definitely know
Winans.
Tanya don't mind paying for a bill. You know what I mean? She makes sure Doggy Bond stay well in the game. But that's the thing though. When I'm talking about today's, and that's why my favorite song, one of my favorite R&B songs of all time, is I love it when she says, "It's cool, I got it, I got it." You know what I mean? Like
That's a motherfucking turn on.
it is, and me, I like to be turned on too. Man, what are you talking about?
Like I like when a woman be like, I can pay the tip, or I can
Teamwork.
get this part. You know what
When
I'm saying?
she takes the
I like
initiative.
that. That's it. All you look for, even if
part.
you don't allow them to do it,
That part,
Right.
it's the fact that you cared enough. You know what I'm saying? To even make that gesture. And a lot of women don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. They just ride the wave. Like, okay, that's how you cut. You like to pay for everything? Good. But we still want to see if you... Bro,
If you in it,
come on.
if you in this,
You may not, at the end of the day, come out of a dime. But the fact that you offer...
Man, listen, your money is in almost every situation.
You
Your
know what
money
I
is
mean?
no good with me.
Yeah,
Okay?
say that.
Because again, as a gentleman, like, again, I love a bossy chick that's in her career and they make it back. I'm never like, you can make more money than me as my woman. That's
yeah,
what we
most
talking about.
definitely.
Like,
Yeah, that ain't.
okay.
Oh, man is intimidated by that. No, we're not
Shit,
intimidated.
in my Dr. Seuss voice, not I, said the cat.
Huh.
Okay.
I want a powerful woman. I want
Absolutely.
a woman that's about her
I
shit.
want a
I want a
Michelle
woman
Obama on my mind.
that can take me on a motherfucking trip on a surprise.
Right, but
Now,
but
you
minus
would have
that
to
attitude that we
surprise
talked
me,
about
though.
earlier,
That entitlement
where it's like
attitude.
where it's like nothing that you do for me I can't do for myself and shit. Where she won't appreciate shit. When you get to that point where if you successful and it's like I don't need a man. Like, I want a man like that. Okay, well, you go ahead. I'm not about to prove myself to you and shit. Like, you done already defeated yourself in your mind and shit. Like, I'm good. I'm not the one to break down that wall.
Yeah, because that's a wall you're gonna be
That's that wall
chiseling
Trump was
that,
trying to build.
trying to do a motherfucking tunnel
That's
to
that
get out
wall
of prison.
Trump was trying to get
Hell
the
no.
Mexicans to build.
What?
That wall.
Hell no.
That's what we're going to compare that to. Call in, man. Let's go. 313-723-0481. The debut of Excuse My Truth podcast with Mac and Macho.
Hit us up.
Tap in. We want to know, ladies. First of all, have you ever shot your shot at a dude? Have you ever been the one that initiated inviting a dude out on a vibe session?
Yeah.
And if so, you invite him out on that vibe session, who's paying for the bill when it comes? Is she paying? Does he pay? Who pays? We need to know. Mac, have you ever pulled up with the anticipation of somebody paying for your pleasures?
It wasn't expressed, it wasn't verbalized, and it probably wasn't their intention.
Okay.
But I had the thought process that, oh, this would be cool. That's refreshing. You know what I'm saying?
But not an obligation,
But then
though.
it's refreshing that you invited me, and I'm thinking it's now all of at the end of the day, after everything's said and done, now you're finally saying, okay, let me treat her to something. But then you get there. Yeah, I've been invited, and I've been sold the wolf ticket.
You thought you were solicited.
I was
It was a
solicited.
solicitation, not an invitation.
I was solicited,
You were solicited.
and my dumb ass got
Bit
there,
the bait.
bit the bait. Don't want to look like a fucking fool in front of all the little people she invited me in front of and shit, right? So now you gotta meet the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or
at the
else.
end of the day, fuck the or else. I'll give you the or else. Because after this, bitch, I'm done.
It's done, right.
Muck, I'm done.
I'm done.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm not about to play with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play with me like that. So, yeah, I've had that. But I care to... I am old-fashioned. I'm 50 years old. So I am
You look good for
old-fashioned.
50, my baby.
Every time
Thank
she
you.
said it, it's like, I don't really believe she. I think she
No, I
said it
swear
like
to
a,
God. 1971.
Damn.
like she said that because it sound good and shit, because she knows she don't look 50. Shit.
I know I don't look 50, but I say it because I try to let people know where my mentality
Right, your mind is, man. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
know. Yeah.
You think I'm 30, 40, and I'm speaking like I'm 50, 60. And there's a reason for that, because I am, right?
Okay. You have one bag.
So I'm old fashioned and I have that mentality, but I still try to adapt to this new world we're living in, right? And it's very challenging for me because I'm like, okay, women that wanted a person to just be the provider, the protector, and all of that, right? There was an even exchange for that shit. Today,
Reciprocation. Today there's none.
reciprocation,
Today
and
there's-
not just reciprocation, but there was an even exchange for that shit. By the time that motherfucker went out and got it, and came home and did what the fuck he had to do, he didn't have to do shit else. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not even that that's appropriate, because yeah, you still got to bond and connect with the kids and the wife, and you got to.
That's the
you know,
type of
but-
shit that you do for a person that you want to be, that you
Yeah,
want to do
yeah.
because you want to be with that person.
Yeah.
It's not like a job
Yeah.
title, like
Right. Mm-hmm.
a job description. You know what I mean? And I'm obligated to do it because that's just my role in the house. That's
Back to that
you do
obligated
that.
word.
But
Yeah.
today, you can be that nigga, or you can be that bitch, muck. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be that person that stands in those shoes, but you're not getting the things that those shoes used to get. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's but
Don't
that's
want the
eye-opening.
old fashioned and give the new day.
But you're gonna get that. Listen, you're gonna get that anyway, and that's why we titled it "Excuse My Truth," because in my truth, I don't take away from your work or your value. Like, there's nothing about me, and we hear it so cliche as living your truth.
Right.
That's fine because it's what you deem as your truth, right? So we can agree to disagree, and that's gonna be the beauty about the podcast.
Yeah.
We're not always gonna fucking agree.
Right.
I tell people all the time when they starting podcasts, I say it's going to be a great show when you have minds that can have differences in opinions on the panel, as opposed to a yes man and somebody come in here and say, "Oh, well, the sky
I
is
agree
red."
with everything you're saying.
The sky is red, and everybody like, "Yep,
That's
it is."
boring.
Like, no, we gotta have a discussion about this shit. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side of the coin, it is not for us to walk away from the table with a vendetta against the person on the other side of the table because
It's
you have a different
okay
opinion.
to
Absolutely.
agree
To disagree.
and disagree.
People don't understand what that really means when you
You're
say
an
agree to
individual.
disagree.
You're an individual. I'm an individual. Everything that shaped my perception didn't shape yours. Everything that shaped your perception didn't shape mine.
And vice
I
versa.
think
We
this
got a
is our
caller.
angel of the week
What's
calling in.
going on, caller? Who is this, and where you calling from?
This is Jada, and I'm calling from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Jada calling from
Hills.
Farmington Hills. You got a comment about the topic?
No, this is our angel of the
Oh,
week.
the angel
segment.
of the week. Okay, what is this?
So Jada Hibbler, she has an organization that's called One to Another.
Okay.
And what she does is she caters to single parents, offering tangible resources such as whatever they need physically, diapers, wipes, whatever, and also educational resources.
Now, wait, can I
on
just ask a question?
parenting.
Is it single parenting or single mothers?
It's just single parenting because I know you're a single
Single
father.
parent.
I'm a single mother.
Yep,
It's
single
what it's
parent.
single
Thank you.
parent.
Okay.
So Jada, tell us about your organization and inform the people on how they can reach out to you and how they can possibly help.
Well, I have a site. It is One to Another, as in one person teaching another, helping another. So it's one to the word two, TWO another. That's on Instagram or onetoanother.org. Right now, I'm currently taking gently used items, be it for men, women, especially children right now, for toddler sizes. I'm trying to help 2 different shelters right now, and we're really in need of toddler items that are gently used.
Which women's shelter
and
are
right
you
now-
helping, cuz?
We can't give out the information because
That's cool.
they're
That's
home, so they for the protection of the women that are sheltered there, we can't
Got
give
it.
out the information.
Most
Got it.
definitely, most definitely.
I think that's dope that
But,
y'all
so-
are catering to both parents, right? Because there are a lot of
Yes,
there are a lot
and
of single
hopefully
fathers
in
out there.
November we have in November. Hopefully we have some different parenting classes for the men, 2 different organizations. Hopefully that I have on board that will help with different because we all have struggles, and a lot of times if those struggles are identified early on, we can help one another overcome certain situations that we as single parents don't have to necessarily, being if you were privy to different type of resources.
So give us your social media tag and your .org again, cuz.
It's 1_2_another. That's Instagram, and onetoanother.org.
And that 2 is spelled TWO, correct?
TWO, yes, correct.
All right, men, women, single parents. It's a lot of single male parents out here. It's a lot of single women parents out here. If you need resources, if you need items, if you need supplies, if you need anything, contact Jada Hibbler at 12TWO another.org or go to her Instagram 1_2TWO_another.org. Macho, did you have any angel of the week that you wanted to shout out? Somebody you know that is doing great things in this community?
Yes, I would like to shout out the Angel of the Week. And let's be clear, our Angels of the Week, we are absolutely going to, one of our sponsors, Loyalty Breeds Loyalty, will be blessing the Angels of the Week with merchandise. So when we announce the Angel of the Week, the following week, you are more than welcome to pull up and come get blessed with some merchandise. But I would like to acknowledge Curtis Blackwell, Mr. Sound Mind, Sound Body himself, who absolutely is impactful in the sense of, and his movement started with just identifying youth football and really impacting our young black kings in the sense of giving them opportunities and exposure with HBCUs and free education at the collegiate level. And his movement is so impactful in the community, but now he's expanded it to cater toward the women and the young queens as well too, with focusing on cheer as well as football. And his impact is so unique and so needed in what we do as far as shaping the youth and impacting the youth, because as we've been knowing for centuries that the children are absolutely the future.
They are.
Shout out to my guy Curtis Blackwell,
They are.
King Crusader, 3200's own, Mr. Eastside. You are absolutely one of the angels of the week that we want to give his roses to while he can still smell them.
So give our Angels of the Week information, location, pickup information for the items that they can pick up for being our Angels of the Week.
Yep.
Macho, he's being very modest. He has a very nice clothing line, a brand. Loyalty breeds loyalty. If you look at his hat, LBL. Look at his shirt, loyalty be loyalty. Loyalty breeds loyalty.
That part, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, that's a brand. Loyalty breed loyalty is the brand. One aspect of the brand we initially kicked off with, which clothing line, clothing brand. We got the LBL Mortgage Professionals assumed name sitting tight. We got so many different facets of the LBL brand, but the initial kickoff to kind of get it out there was the clothing line, and we've had success. It's been 5 years in November. We're definitely going to do a huge, I think it's going to be huge anniversary party, which will be the first anniversary party, but the 5-year anniversary. We got a story behind it too that's absolutely dope. But that being said, right now we are absolutely working on the online store, and it's close to going live. It'll definitely be live by, and that's why I'm not putting no rush. I'm not in the rush at all. Be haste for nothing. So I'm taking my time getting it together. But right now I'm on Instagram, Loyalty Breeds Loyalty, one word. I'm on Facebook, LBL / Loyalty Breeds Loyalty. And my handle on Instagram is Macho _ Loyalty Breeds Loyalty. On Facebook, it's Macho _ LBL. I am the brand. I am my brand. For our Angels of the Week, you can reach out to me via phone at 586-241-6257 or DM me on any one of those sites. The Loyalty Breeds Loyalty, I check it every single day. My daughter's now about to take over that page and take that off of my plate, so I'm looking forward to being able to pay her. I had my other daughter on the payroll too. I was paying her $15 an hour to do nothing. And she just got lazy, started feeling entitled, and I'm like, you're 16 years old, you're making $15 an hour working for your dad, and you don't have to do nothing but 45 minutes worth of work, and I give you $50. But that being said, so DM me on any one of those handles on Facebook, Macho _ LBL, or the Loyalty Breeds Loyalty Instagram page. Tap in with me, and we'll bless you with some Loyalty Breeds Loyalty merchandise.
So Jada, you still on the line? Jada?
Yep, I'm still here.
Oh, hey, so this is my cousin, y'all. I love her so much. But I know
Hey, Jada.
she's into yoga and all of that. You got some yoga wear on your Loyalty Breeds Loyalty.
I do. I listen, so here's the beauty about Loyalty Breeds Loyalty. Keep in mind it's a brand. So we cater to, queens and kings, and we have an array of things, but absolutely we tap into the fitness arena, fitness world. We have yoga sets and stretch wear and legging and fall fashions coming up. So I'm excited because I got some new joggers that I'm getting ready to display, bomber jackets for the ladies. We definitely have the dad hats, none of that plain shit that Nike and Polo put out, only distressed denim, my baby. You know what I mean? So we've leveled up even in the sense of quality. You know what I mean? I'm big on making sure that I'm putting out good quality merchandise, and making sure that it's good quality. So, I still wear shirts from, swear to God, like 4 years ago. Well, I've lost some weight, so I can't fit some of them, but absolutely quality. I started with Gildan, And since we've leveled absolutely way up, you know what I mean? Like we don't even, you know, and Gildan still have nice brands and good quality things that they've recently came out with, but just from a brand recognition standpoint, you know, I've leveled up the quality of the merchandise that I put out there. So I'm heavy, you know what I mean? I'm heavy. I'm everywhere. Like the beauty about it is when you wear that Nike hat or that polo hat, nobody's going to see that and be like, oh shit, you fuck with Ralph. Not never. But when you rock this sort of God, they're going to be like, oh shit, you the fuck with Macho. Like, absolutely. Like, so. But I would like to ask Cousin Jada a question since she's on the line. Like, we can't shy away, even though you're our angel of the week, Cousin Jada. If you invite a dude to come have a drink with you, and he pulls up to come have a drink with you, who's paying for the bill when it comes?
Well, are you asking me if I would pay? If I invited him, I would assume that I would be paying, but most of the gentlemen that I date would pay for the drink.
Say that shit, cuz.
But if I invited you, I would assume that I would.
AKA,
She keep using that word. If I would assume.
AKA, she fine, so ain't no dude's gonna let her pay for the.
If I invited you, I would assume that I would take responsibility. But the men that I date, they.
We ain't calling no date. It was a vibe session.
Ain't no dude gonna expect her to pay for the shit. No.
Man, I don't care if she fine and cute. Jada, you invite Macho for a drink, you better be prepared. You better at least reach for that motherfucker.
I would definitely pretend. I mean, you know, I'm
There
going
you
along
go.
with
Okay.
it.
She said,
I
know what, cuz.
With a name like Macho, before I could even reach my hand out, you're gonna be like,
Facts.
I know you didn't think that. And I'm gonna be like, of course not, Mr. Macho. I did not.
Thank you so much, Jada, because that was just so honest. That was just so honest.
said,
If most women wouldn't even
like
say that. You know what I mean?
They would have played that role.
We appreciate your honesty, Miss Jada.
Like,
that was
I'm a
absolutely the
reach,
position.
but I hope by the time I make contact, nigga, you stop me. You know what I mean?
And listen, and I just want you, hey Jada, I just want you to reach and grab that and hand that motherfucker to me. Okay?
If that's all it took, if that's all it was, you was reaching for.
That's it. As you reaching for that motherfucker,
acknowledge the bill. That's it. Just acknowledge
that
that.
I'm definitely gonna look down and like make eye contact with it and extend my hand. But I know you're gonna stop me before I get to the extension.
Say that. Say that.
Yeah, because I know. Yeah, you absolutely know I am because I'm a boss.
Because Miss Mama Macho raised you right.
Miss Mama Macho absolutely raised me right, cousin.
Thank you for calling in, cuz. I appreciate you.
Jada, don't forget.
Once again, one to another. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to remind Miss Jada just to make sure she either calls the number 586-241-6257 or DM any of the Loyalty Breed loyalty handles. It's all one word on all social media platforms.
I'm going to be sure to do all of the above. And thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, cuz. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you all. Have a good evening.
You too. Again, 1_2 TWO_another on Instagram. So we getting ready to wrap it up. Macho, final thoughts.
My final thoughts is, first of all, Mark, appreciate you having us. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, homie. Pleasure meeting you. You know what I'm saying? You fit good on the team, man. You're perfect fit for the squad.
I appreciate y'all, man. Like, you know, we excited, man. We gonna definitely despise not small beginnings, and somebody tag iHeartRadio, you know what I mean, and let them know that 7 Mile Radio and Excuse My Truth podcast with Mac and Macho is officially on the airwaves, and
about to go down.
Yeah, I'm excited. But ladies, I would just like to leave this thought with y'all. At the end of the day, it's absolutely nothing wrong.
He got to look in the camera, get it together. Let's tell him.
It is absolutely nothing wrong with you being a bossy queen, right? You don't always have to be a selfish muck. Okay? You don't have to be an entitled muck, right? You're a boss, you're a queen. It's okay to reach for the check and at least initiate. It's nothing wrong with that. Me personally, as a grown man, I need to be spoiled and overwhelmingly catered to on June the 27th, okay? And Father's Day. Those are the 2 days. Like, if you my lady, like, because you're going to appreciate the fact that as a great father, I'm going to still, you know what I'm saying? If we vibing like that, even your kid on birthdays, I pull up and, you know what I'm saying? So you don't feel bad about acknowledging me on those 2 days. Those are the only, to me, mandatory days that I got to be king of Zamunda, okay?
This guy's birthday is exactly 1 month before mine. I knew this was my brother.
You knew it was something going down.
I'll fuck with you, my baby. That being said, though, ladies, like, it's nothing wrong with initiating. If you invite the guy to come have a drink with you, come pull up on you and have a drink, there's nothing wrong with initiating.
Nothing wrong with taking the initiative.
That's it. And let me, because I swear, when it's a vibe and it's that, what's normally ain't got to be said, yeah, I got it. It's cool.
Right. You're going to boss up anyway.
That
just
part.
off the vibe, right?
Yep, that part.
My final thought is, as a woman that is not a traditional woman, I just want women to understand that everybody is the prize. Stop just feeling entitled and don't feel like your partner is entitled to anything. Go the extra mile for them the same way you want them to go the extra mile for you. If you know that's what it takes to keep you, then you know that's what it takes to keep them. Don't shortchange your partner because you're just selfish and self-centered. Step outside of yourself just for once. Step across the aisle and see what the next individual, the next human, your next partner might need from you. It's not just about you, baby girl. Show them that it's about them too. That's how you keep them.
Agreed.
And on that note, we make no apologies. We candid. This is for mature audiences only.
That's it.
This is Eminem, Mac and Macho.
Excuse My Truth podcast.
Say that shit.
Every Wednesday.
Now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile